Today, my friends, I am ranking every single character from The Empire Strikes Back. I have done Revenge of the Sith, and I have done The Force Awakens, so it only seems fair if I have done The Empire Strikes Back. So, here we are. So basically, how this works is I rank them on a tier list from S to F, S being the best, and F being the worst. I only rank them from the movie itself, and not from any other movie. So, going based off of that, first character we have is Boba Fett. Now, Boba Fett, obviously, he's going to go in S tier. Boba Fett was a really cool bounty hunter, and this is the first time we really ever see him throughout the Star Wars trilogy. Well, besides the Clone Wars, but you know what I mean. First time we've ever seen him fully. And Boba Fett was a very cool bounty hunter, especially when Darth Vader picked him to go find the rebels and go follow the Millennium Falcon, because the whole point of that was to find Han Solo. But yeah, anyway, Boba Fett was a very cool character. Make sure to watch all the way until the end to see if I rank your favorite character in your spot. But yeah, next we have C-3PO. Now, C-3PO is always a cool character. He will always be a very cool character. He played a good role in this, I'll say. I want to throw him an A, because 3PO, he's cool and all. He really is very, very cool. But, I mean, he kind of just does the same thing, really. There's not really... He pretty much just does the same thing all the time. So, yeah. But on the other hand, Chewie, S tier. I'm getting a little generous. We'll throw him an A tier. I feel like A tier for Chewie is definitely good. Yeah, he played a good role, especially when they were on Bespin. Return of the Jedi. But anyway, no. Now, Han Solo, S tier. It was at the beginning of this movie when he found Luke Skywalker and he wanted to leave the rebels and let them do this whole thing in A New Hope. But now, here he is. He returned back to Hoth. And he played a big role in the Battle of Hoth, helping Leia, and then Han Solo and Leia smash in this film. And then he goes on to be in Carbonite. That's kind of the summary of his story in The Empire Strikes Back. But definitely, I mean, he's a funny, cool character. And yeah, honestly, there's not really, I'm going to be saying a lot of cool and awesome. And now here we go with Lando Calrissian. Now, Lando, on the other hand, I'm going to throw him in A tier. We only really see him on the planet Bespin, and that is because he first of all helped the Empire by capturing Han Solo and turning him into Carbonite, and then he goes on to kill the Empire, or unalive the Empire, to help the rebels, because he wants to smash Leia as well, and I think that's what he was trying to do, is to smash Princess Leia. So Lando Calrissian, I'll throw him in A tier because he does have Riz, and his Riz is very cool. But yeah, I mean, in the end though, he does help to get Han Solo back in a way. So yeah, Lando Calrissian, he's a cool character. Them two have a long history together, but yeah, I think A tier is a good for him. Leia. Good old Leia. Who doesn't love Leia? She's hot, and she's beautiful, and but not because of the... Her character in this movie, she's a leader. She wants to help the rebels escape Hoth. She wants to find a new base, which they eventually do. Well, they kind of do, but not really, because anyway, I don't want to get on that. Leia is an amazing character and plays an amazing role in this film. She carries the rebels throughout this whole adventure in this film. She goes on. Her ultimate goal was to obviously be the leader, which she did in this movie. She helped Han Solo by smashing him, and then she goes on to help Luke by coming back for Luke, because we find out in this movie that she is force sensitive a little bit, because she hears Luke hanging from the Bespin reactor shaft whenever he fell out. She comes back and gets him back in the Millennium Falcon. I can just remember this little scene in the Lego Star Wars game. But yeah, no, Leia was definitely a cool character, amazing character in this film. Definitely deserving of S tier. Now, Luke Skywalker, I want to put him in S, but A. Now, hear me out. I think A is a good role for him, because at this point in the story, he is starting to learn for himself to become a Jedi. He's on this path now to be the chosen one that Obi-Wan wanted him to be. That's what he died for. He wanted to follow Luke in his path, to see him above as a Force ghost. So Luke now is on this path to become this Jedi and to destroy the Sith. And at this point in the timeline, he's training very hard, especially when he meets Yoda. He's training very hard, and then he goes on to duel Darth Vader, but is very sloppy, and that's why he gets his hand chopped off and would rather die than join Darth Vader, because he wants to become this Jedi that Yoda and Obi-Wan are trying to get him to be to destroy the Sith. But yeah, Luke definitely A tier. Now, if this was Return of the Jedi, Luke definitely mostly S tier. Now, Obi-Wan, I'll throw him in A tier because he didn't really play a big role in this movie. Now, hear me out. I only say that because he had a short cameo in this film. And that was him as a Force ghost telling Luke to stay in Dagobah and not to go and help his friends. He needs to finish his training. But Luke didn't do that because he's a Skywalker and doesn't listen very well. So yeah. Now Palpatine. Palpatine's Palpatine. I think that's the best way of putting it for S tier. R2-D2. Now, I love R2, and especially, come on now. We all know that duel between Yoda and R2 in this film. That's probably my favorite duel ever, by the way. R2 versus Yoda. That was amazing, okay? Now, don't get mad. I don't know this person, okay? I don't. I think he's B, because I think this is the guy that Luke Skywalker was in the, was on Hoth with in the, fighter jet, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry if I don't know, but I don't know. Now, Bask. Cool. He had literally a short cameo in this, and that was it. And it was when Darth Vader, I'm pretty sure he had a very short cameo in this film, as when Darth Vader was picking bounty hunters. And he didn't pick Bask. He picked, C. Yeah, but he picked, Boba Fett. So yeah, along with the IG unit as well. Now this white guy over here, I think he's the guy that put Han Solo in carbonite. But other than that, I think D tier. Now Yoda, S tier. Well, it's definitely A tier. Yeah. Because at this point in the timeline, Yoda has been sitting on Dagobah for many years and is just waiting for this Jedi, Luke Skywalker, I would assume, to come to him. He did, and Yoda was very impatient for Luke. I mean, he has the patience, yes, but Luke was the one impatient. Yoda was patient for him, but Luke didn't want to do it, blah, 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 you get it. And of course, Darth Vader. Do we really have to explain why he's an S tier? I don't think I have to, but yeah. But anyway, there's my tier list. Bye.